Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone podcast. My name is Kathy. Assuming the trial in Idaho versus Kohberger is not continued after the hearing on the defense's motion to continue on June 18th, 2025, what could the public expect to see day one of the trial, which Judge Hippler has already ordered will be live streamed? Well, the first thing that the public can expect on August 11th, 2025 is seeing Judge Hippler taking the floor. He will undoubtedly address the jury to some degree. He may say a few words. He may even give a jury instruction or two. Once Judge Hippler is done speaking, his attention will then turn to the prosecution table, and he will tell the prosecution that they have the floor. One of the attorneys who represent the state of Idaho will then stand to give an opening statement directed toward the jury. I am predicting it will be William Thompson. I am predicting that Mr. Thompson will introduce the jury to the other members of the prosecution team. I believe he will then talk a little bit about Madison, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan, give an overview of what he anticipates the evidence in the case will show, and then say words to the effect that at the end of the presentation of all of the evidence in the case, that he will stand back up and ask that jury to return a verdict of guilty on the 5 felonies that Mr. Kohberger has been charged with. And you can read what they are. They are in the indictment. That is what he's standing trial for, which was returned by the grand jury in Latah County on May 16th, 2023. There are 5 counts. The first is for burglary. That is a felony. The second, third, fourth, and fifth counts are the counts that bring with them the potential for capital punishment. Count 2 relates to Madison. Count 3 relates to Kaylee. Count 4 relates to Xana. Count 5 relates to Ethan. Once Mr. Thompson is finished giving his opening statement, Judge Hippler will then take the floor again, and he will address the defense and give them an opportunity, if they want, to get up and give an opening statement of their own. Now, sometimes defenses do not give opening statements. They may reserve their opportunity to address the jury at the end of the presentation of the case in chief. If the defense opts to give an opening statement, I'm anticipating that it will be Ms. Taylor as Mr. Kohberger's lead counsel who will do so. I anticipate she'll introduce everyone sitting at the defense table, including Mr. Kohberger, and she will say direct opposite of what Mr. Thompson has stated, that she believes that the state's case is insufficient to return a verdict of guilty, and her job is not to prove Mr. Kohberger's innocence. It is to poke holes at the state's case to establish that there is not guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And when Ms. Taylor finishes speaking, if she does give the opening statement, then the court will turn to the prosecution, and it's time for them to call their first witness, and then it goes into the presentation of the witnesses coming to the stand one by one. It is unknown who the state will start with. It may begin just chronologically with the witnesses regarding the 911 call. It might be Detective Brett Payne, who was the lead detective in the case and the author of the affidavit of probable cause that asked for Mr. Kohberger's arrest, or it may be someone else. So that's just a brief overview of what we're anticipating day one of the trial will look like. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thanks for joining us today.